All right, could the Detroit Pistons being played for Bradley Beal or other big name free agents out there, which is a couple out there. It ain't the deepest or the most flamboyant free agent class. But you got Zach LaVine out there. You got some restricted guys. There's guys with player options like Anthony Simmons. You got some restricted guys in there. I think uh, Anthony Simmons is restricted. You got Miles Bridges that could hit the market. I mean, a lot of these players might be getting, at least regular max deal for $30 million. So that's why a lot of these teams ain't like thinking about keeping these players. Because the supermax, like shit, it's like $50 million a year. So honestly, you can, what team, even though the cap post be going up, and they say inflation ain't real, that's bullshit. The cap post be going up. So I mean, so you talking about somebody in the NBA, the super max deal might be, $50 million a year. $50 million a year though. So, it's a lot of money to pay somebody, especially, dudes that's creeping around after that 30 mark. They 32, 33, 34 years old. They can fall off the cliff any given time. So the cap should be raising pretty high pretty soon. So, I mean, so just part of going what's going on with inflation. But, the Pistons got an opportunity to, according to this article, to do something major because they one of a few teams with money, us in Orlando. And think about Orlando, I could say we won't be competing with Orlando for a guard because Orlando got a whole bunch of guards, a whole bunch of wings. You know what I'm saying? We might be competing with them to fill the middle. That's what they're gonna do in the draft, regardless. So while the Pistons could have Bradley Beal and other big names calling, one expert in the media on NBA salary cap, Eric Pincus, talked about on a recent show about how a few teams have any real a few teams have any real salary cap space this off team. Detroit Pistons being the exception that could result in them gaining some unexpected interest from big name free agents. How about Bradley Beal signing with the Pistons as a free agent? That certainly would be a surprising, but in the current landscape, Detroit might be one of the few landing spots that could afford him if he really wanted a fresh start. Pincus covers the NBA salary cap for Bleacher Report and also a part of the sports business classroom, an immersive learning experience held during Las Vegas Summer League. He knows about sending ways of NBA teams as well as anyone. So, Pincus was recent guest on NBA Front Office on YouTube. Free plug, great show for keeping up with NBA developments. And amongst the topics was teams have money to spend on free agency. They've already good news for Pistons, not so good for any other NBA team. They quote, "There's no money in my memory. I have never seen it like this. It is the tightest market," said Pincus. There are only 3 or 4 teams that will have money. Teams could call to have cap room, but then you have to trade with teams that have cap room. There are ways to certainly create cap room. Basically, as of now, it's the Pistons, the Magic, and others could have some cap room. You go through each team, and there's just not a lot of money. So really, you can't dump no money. The guesstimation, I like that word, is that Detroit will have about 25 million in cap space to spend this offseason. That can be expanded if Jeremy Grant $20 million a year, Kelly Olynyk $13 million a year was removed. Move, of course, you would have to find another club with cap space to take their contract. There are not too many. There are a few big names to go after this summer, more expected to be available next year. So teams might be holding off to create cap space. Also, there's a possibility of a new collective bargaining agreement going into effect next year, not knowing what the rules will be in the future has also made NBA teams gun shy about making moves. So the Pistons are kind of in the catbird seat. They have some room to take a toxic contract in return for a bunch of assets, swing trades where the salaries do not match, and go after free agents while most NBA teams handcuffed to the salary cap. According to Pincus, because there are so few teams capable of adding a lot of salary, teams like Detroit will suddenly pop up as possible destination for players where the free agents or have player options they can decline. Pincus uses the Wizards guard Bradley Beal as an example. Like if Bradley Beal decides he does not want to be in Washington anymore, where can he go? Asked Pincus. That's an issue. He can say, "I'm going to the Pistons unless you trade me, then I opt in," kind of like Chris Paul when he got to Houston. But you don't know yet what is going to happen. Someone will opt in, you expect to opt out. Someone will opt out, you expect to opt in. Pincus not saying that Bill is headed to Detroit, although Cunningham Bill backcourt be intriguing. But the Pistons can be used as a threat if a star player does not get his wish. If things really turn bad, their present situation, maybe a top player actually does try to sign with the Pistons, and other options are limited. Pinkus is giving excellent warning for Piston fans. Expect a lot of names to be linked to Detroit in the media, most are generated by agents, as if one of the few plausible destinations for players. He says Detroit used to be known as having bloated contracts with mediocre players. However, thanks to the prudent cap management by General Manager Troy Weaver and Blake Griffin's massive deal coming off the books, Pistons will have money to spend this summer, while most NBA can only watch. So it don't mean just because you got it, you got to spend it. But once again, just talking about um, the big names out there real quick. You know, uh, so I mean, John. I mean, a lot of these dudes got player options. They probably expected to opt in. So I mean, you got Zach LaVine. He might be unrestricted to prize possession out here that will be available. DeAndre Ayton, a lot of Pistons fans like him. I don't. Unathletic, lazy, don't defense. Um, Mo Bamba, he gonna be a hot name out there. Colin Sexton already been linked to us. Miles Bridges, a hot name around here. So it's quite a few out here. And Anthony Simmons, a lot of people like him. Um, so you got a few guys out there. Mitchell Robinson been linked to us. Some people like him, some people don't. Jalen Brunson, it's another guy a lot of people like. I think Dallas gonna make a way, gonna keep him though. So I mean, his name's there. So me personally, Zach LaVine, Jalen Brunson, probably the guys that you want to go after the most. See if you can make. You always can make a sign and trade happen too. Don't forget that they still players to sign and trade. If you're gonna pay Zach LaVine $30 million, right? Whoever, you can just trade Jeremy Grant over there and get some in bare minimum. If you don't get the offer you want from Portland for Jeremy Grant, or the right compensation, you can just trade him for one of the guys you want to do a sign and trade with Chicago. That way Chicago don't lose nothing. That's way you still got salary cap space. If you get him for 30, and Jeremy Grant works 25, you only losing $5 million. You still got 20 to turn around and get Jalen Brunson. So if you don't get the draft compensation you want in some of these trade for some of these players, you still could turn around and make something happen financially. So, on top of that, so it's ways to compensate for not getting another lottery pick. But yeah, man, we sound like we might use it as a bluff destination, but they got options, very flexible, and we'll see. But let me know what you girls and guys think. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. That subscribe button, this bell icon button. Hit all notifications. Increase your chance get notifications. We go live or drop a video. Financial want to support the channel. Cash App, $ CJ Good 313, Venmo CJ Good 313, PayPal link description. Other than that, fastest way to reach me is Twitter, then Facebook, then Instagram. If you have business question, inquiry, response, video requests, all my social media subscription. Let me know in the comment section one time for the one time. Peace.